everybody, and welcome back to the channel. So today's video is a geography quiz part 2. I asked you guys in the community tab what other quizzes would you guys like to see in the channel, and over 1,000 people responded, and over 50% said you'd like to see a geography quiz part 2. So this is what this video is about. In case you haven't watched part 1, I'm going to leave the link in the description so you can watch the video and see how it works. But yeah, it's really simple. So there will be a total of 30 points they'll be able to get. 20 points are going to be from these questions. I'm going to ask you a simple question about geography, and if you get the answer correct, you gain 1 point, and then the remaining 10 points you'll be able to get from flags. I'm going to ask you to name the countries and the flags that I'll show you, and yeah, this will be the video. So I have to say that this part is definitely more challenging than the previous one, but yeah, I think it's more interesting. So please comment down below your answers to all of the questions and also how many points you got. I'd love to see your comments on that. And yeah, let's just get started. So question number 1 is, what is the most populated city in the world? So out of all of the cities in the world, which one has the highest population? So I'm going to give you a hint. The answer is one of these 4 options. So option A, we have Shanghai. Option B, we have Tokyo. Option C, we have São Paulo. Option D, we have Delhi. Out of these 4 cities, which one do you think has the highest population? Okay, let's check. So the answer is B, Tokyo, with over 37 million inhabitants. Okay, let's move on to question number 2, which asks, the Ural Mountains form a natural border between which 2 continents? So the Ural Mountains form a natural border between 2 continents. What are these 2 continents? Ural Mountains. The Ural Mountains. What do you think are the 2 continents? You only get a point if you name the 2 continents correctly. Okay, let's check what is the answer. So the 2 continents that are separated by the Ural Mountains are Asia and Europe. Asia and Europe. Did you get it right? Okay, let's move on to question number 3, which asks, what is the world's largest island that is not a continent? It is not a continent. And to help you, I have here the definition of island. So island is any piece of land that is surrounded by water, okay? So what do you think is the largest piece of land that is surrounded by water that is not a continent? Okay, this part is important. Do you have your answer? Not a continent. Okay, let's check what the answer is. And by the way, this is just saying how many kilometers of land there are in this answer. So the answer is actually Greenland. So Greenland is the largest island that is not a continent, and has over 2.7 square kilometers of land. This is incorrect. is 2.17 million square kilometers of land. Okay, let's see what other questions do we have. Okay, so for question number 4, what country is named after the imaginary line that divides the Earth into the northern and southern hemisphere? So what country is named after this imaginary line that divides the Earth into the northern and the southern hemisphere? What is the country? Do you have your answer? Okay, let's check. So the country is Ecuador, and Ecuador was given its name because of the equator line that divides, it's an imaginary line that divides the world into the northern and southern hemisphere. Okay, let's move on to the next question. What is the most spoken language in the southern hemisphere? So we were talking about hemispheres in question 4. Now, what is the most spoken language in the southern hemisphere? This one is a little bit more challenging, but think about the big countries in the southern hemisphere. Do you have your answer? Okay, let's check. So the answer is Portuguese. Portuguese is the most spoken language in the southern hemisphere, with over 265 million speakers. And some of the countries that speak Portuguese in the southern hemisphere are Brazil, Mozambique, and Angola. Okay, did you get it right? Let's move on to question number 6. What country has the most islands in the world? What is your guess for the country with the most islands? I do admit this one is a little tricky. I will give you a hint. It's an European country. The top 3 countries with the most islands are all European. So, what do you think is the country with the most islands in the world? I'm going to give you some time to think. Most islands. Okay, let's take a look at the answer. So the answer is Sweden. Sweden has over 267,000 islands. 267,000 islands. I believe Norway is at the 2nd place of the countries with the most islands, and then Finland. Okay, let's move on. What is the largest peninsula in the world? And to help you, I have here written the definition of peninsula. So peninsula is just any piece of land that is almost entirely surrounded by water, but is connected to mainland on one side. So, almost entirely connected. Surrounded by water, but is connected to land on one single side. that is what a peninsula is. So, what is the biggest peninsula in the world? Do you have a guess? The biggest peninsula. Okay, let's take a look at the answer. By the way, this just says peninsula. Okay, let's take a look at the answer. So the answer is the Arabian Peninsula, and this peninsula has over 3.2 million kilometers of land, so it's quite big. 3.2 kilometers of land. Okay, let's move on to the next question. This one is a little bit easier. What country is between Sweden and Russia? So this country shares borders with both Sweden and Russia. It's between these two countries. What country do you think is between Sweden and Russia? Sweden over here, Russia over here. What country is in between these two countries? What do you think is this country? I'm going to give you some time to think. Between Russia and Sweden. Do you have a guess? Okay, let's check if your answer is correct. And the answer is Finland. Finland is in the middle of Russia and Sweden. Okay, next question. What is the capital city of the Philippines? What is the capital city of the Philippines? What do you think is the capital city of the country? Philippines. Of the Philippines. This one is also quite easy. Do you have your guess? Remember, you get 1 point per correct answer. What do you think is the capital city of the Philippines? Okay, let's check if you're correct. So the answer is Manila. Manila is the capital city of the Philippines. Moving on to question number 10. What is the most populous country in the world? So the first question was about the most populated city. Now, what is the country with the biggest population? What answer are you thinking? In the world. Do you have your answer? Okay. Let's check if your answer is correct. And the answer is India, with over 1.4 billion people. So this has changed quite recently. A few years ago it used to be China, but India overtook China, and now India is the country with the highest population, having over 1.4 billion inhabitants. 1.4 billion. Okay, let's go to question number 11. And question number 11 asks, what is the capital city of Peru? What do you think is the capital city of the country Peru? I think this one is also easy. Capital city of Peru. What's your guess? Okay, can I lock in your answer? Good, let's check then if your answer is correct. So, the capital city of Peru is Lima. Lima. Lima is the capital city of Peru. Okay, so for question number 12, you'll be able to get 5 points, okay? So question number 12 asks, what are the 5 most spoken languages in the world? And it's not native languages, it's just languages, just the 5 most spoken languages in the world. And by the way, this just says speakers, so it's not giving any hint about the answers. And as I said, you will gain 1 point per correct language that you answer. And you do not have to answer in order, by the way, just have to tell me what are the 5 most spoken languages in the world. I'm going to give you some time to think about it. The 5 most spoken languages. What is your guess, or what are your guesses? You get 1 point per correct language. Okay, let's check if your guesses are correct. So, I actually included 6 languages in the answer. I'll tell you why. So the most spoken language in the world is English, with over 1.45 billion speakers. So 1,450,000,000 people in the world speak English. Then we have Mandarin Chinese with over 1.1 billion speakers, so 1,100,000,000 speakers of Mandarin Chinese. Then on 3rd place we have Hindi, which has over 602 million speakers worldwide. 4th place is Spanish with over 550 million speakers. And then on 5th place, I included 2 options that I'm considering both of these correct, because there are contrasting sources on these 2, and both of these languages have around the same amount of speakers. So I'm considering both French and Arabic as correct answers for the 5th most spoken language, since both of these languages have about 400 million speakers. Okay, let's continue. Okay, so for question number 13, which country shares borders with the most countries? And there's actually 2 answers for this question. 2 countries share the same amount of neighboring countries. So I just need you to tell me one, and you'll get 1 point. You can choose either one of those countries. So what country has the most neighboring countries and shares the most borders? I'm going to let you think about this. What do you think is the answer? Most neighboring countries. Okay, let's check if your answer is correct. So the answers are China and Russia. They both share borders with 14 countries. So if you answered China or Russia, either of these is correct. Okay, let's move on to question 14. What African country has both the Mediterranean Sea and the Atlantic Ocean on its coast? So, African country, it has both Atlantic Ocean and Mediterranean Sea Mediterranean Sea on its coast. It's an African country. I think this one's also quite easy. What is your guess for question number 14? Okay, let's check if your guess was correct. So the country, African country, that has both the Mediterranean Sea and the Atlantic Ocean on its coast is Morocco. Morocco. Nice. Let's move on to the last question, and then we have flags. So question 15 asks, what is the largest landlocked country in the world? And as a hint, I'm explaining to you the definition of landlocked. So a landlocked country is a nation with no direct access to an ocean or an open sea and is completely surrounded by land. So, no direct access to ocean or sea, completely surrounded by land. What do you think is the biggest landlocked country in the world? Do you have a guess? Let's check if your answer is correct. So the answer for the biggest landlocked country is Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan is the biggest landlocked country in the world. Okay, so these were the 15 questions. And yeah, let's move on to the flags right now and see how many points can you get from that. So I have here on my phone a few images of flags that I'm going to ask you to name the country. So yeah, flag number 1 is this flag. I'm also going to describe it for you guys. So this flag has 2 stripes. The top horizontal stripe is white. The bottom horizontal stripe is red. So what country do you think this is? There are a few similar flags to this one, but white on the top stripe and red on the bottom stripe. Okay, so the correct answer is Poland. This is the flag of Poland. Okay, let's move on to the second flag. So this flag has a green background and it has, I do not know the name of this shape in English, but it has a 4-side shape, kind of squarish yellow shape. Then it has a globe in the center and it says Ordem e Progresso, order and progress, in the center. What country do you think this flag belongs to? What is your guess? Okay, so the answer is Brazil. This is the flag of Brazil. Okay. Next flag. So we have 3 horizontal stripes. The top one is a light blue, baby blue color. The middle one is white and it has a sun in the center. And the bottom one is the same color as the top one, which is a baby blue, a light blue. What do you think is the country that this flag belongs to? What is your guess? Okay, so the answer is Argentina. This is the flag of Argentina. Okay, next flag. So this flag, there is one vertical red stripe and then 3 horizontal stripes. The top one is dark green, the middle one is white, and then the last one is black. What country do you think this flag belongs to? Do you have a guess? Okay, so the answer is the United Arab Emirates, the UAE, the United Arab Emirates. Okay, let's move on to the next flag. So this flag is not divided in half, but I would say 60% of one color and then 40% the other. So we have about 60% of the flag is red, the remaining is green, then there is a yellow or gold crown in the center. This beautiful flag. What country do you think this flag belongs to? Do you have a guess? I'm going to let you look closer. What do you think the answer is? Okay, and the answer is Portugal. This is the flag of Portugal. Okay, let's move on to the next flag. So this flag has a red background, and then it has a cross, a dark blue navy cross, and you can see that this cross has white borders. What country do you think this flag belongs to? It's also in many clothing pieces. What country do you think this flag belongs to? Do you have a guess? Okay, so the answer is Norway. This is a flag of Norway. Okay, next flag. So this flag has 3 horizontal stripes. The top one is red, the middle one is white, and the last one is green, dark green. What country do you think this flag belongs to? What is your guess? Okay, so the answer is Hungary. This is the flag of Hungary. Okay, next flag. So this is the shape of the flag. Not so sure how to describe it. It's very unique. So the main color of the flag is red, but it has a dark blue border. Then it has these 2 white symbols. Very beautiful flag. What country do you think this flag belongs to? It's a very unique shape. It's not rectangular or square like most flags. It's this very unique shape. So So what do you think? What is your guess? What country does this flag belong to? The answer is Nepal. This is the flag of Nepal. Okay, next flag. Again, not so sure how to describe this one. There's many colors. We have red on top, a navy on the bottom. We have also black, yellow, green, and white. So a very colorful flag. What country do you think this flag belongs to? What is your guess? Okay, so the answer is South Africa. This is a flag of South Africa. Okay, moving on to the next flag. So we have a red background and two eagles, two black eagles in the center. Which country do you think this flag belongs to? Do you have a guess? So the answer is Albania. This is the flag of Albania. Okay, so these were 10 flags already, but I'm giving you an option for a bonus point. So, what country do you think this flag belongs to? So, on top we have a greenish, bluish stripe. Then we have in the middle a black stripe, and at the end a yellow stripe. In between the top, middle, and bottom and middle stripes, we have a white border. Then we have a red triangle with a star, and I believe a gun and a machete and an open book. What country do you think this beautiful flag belongs to? I'll give you a tip. It's a country that was mentioned in the answers. What country do you think this flag belongs to? Do you have a guess? Okay, so the answer is Mozambique. This is the flag of Mozambique. Okay, so these were all the questions for today's quiz. I really hope you guys liked it. Please let me know in the comments down below how many questions you were able to get right, and how many points you got, and what were your answers out of the questions. I really hope you guys liked it, and if you have an idea of a quiz that you'd like to see in the future in this channel, please comment down below. And yeah, see you guys soon. Bye!